Hi there, Grant Davis. Hey, thanks for checking this out. This is great. This is new. This is exciting. For the last several months, I've been working with a group of financial consultants out of Southern California, cutting-edge people that have the concept of credit enhancement. Credit enhancement bonding, credit enhancement insurance, credit enhancement, how to enhance the viability of credit. At first, it was just not available. And I kept telling them, hey, I can't find it, no such thing, yada, yada, if you would. But as I've been working, I've been developing a new insurance product, which you'll see on this website, market value insurance for home buyers, and then job loss insurance for home buyers. And then we started talking more about their big project. And they have a large construction project they're working as financial consultants for. And I started stacking up all the coverages we were putting together. And I was having conversations with the builder that's going to build it, and I talked about the contract provisions that are going to be in those contracts. And then I started looking at the performance and payment bonds that we're going to require. And then I started looking at the requirements we had with the subcontractors. And then I moved over to the builder's risk, and I started looking at the loss of income, extra expense, and the soft costs in there. And then we started looking at the kinds of coverage we had. We had the earthquake and the fire and lightning and the terrorism and such. And when it was all said and done, I realized that we had credit enhancement insurance, credit enhancement bonding. We actually had it. It's just not called that. So I'm not going to give away all my secrets. And in fact, if you read below this, you'll see that you got to be one of my clients and sign a non-disclosure agreement for me to go much farther than this. But I am going to say this: when it's all said and done, I have packaged together insurance and non-insurance, risk management and transfers, contractual and other kinds of transfers, in a manner with which the bank, lender, or partners, private equity group, it doesn't matter who you're doing business with, during the course of construction of your project, for the owner and their financier, there's really virtually nothing that can happen that will not actually continue to cover it. As we move on from there and the project is actually completed, then what happens is that same concept that I fully developed into a package of things just applies to the completed project, leaving the only thing uninsured, the only thing that there's not, and it's not completely uninsured if we do it all right, but the only thing is the entrepreneurial risk is the last thing left. So when you go to the bank, it used to be you had a good idea, like I'm saying down below. You had a good idea, you had a good business plan, and good credit, and you walked out with your barrel full of money, and there you went and you were in business. Today, though, with all that you see, and I watch CNBC just all day long back there, and all I see on TV is all these little crooked people with all their little crooked games. I feel like I was watching the other day when that congressman snuck in that bonus provision for one of the darn insurance companies. And it was like they asked him once, they asked him twice, and by the third time he finally admitted it. It was like that Austin Powers characters. Oh, he asked me once, he lies. You ask him twice, he lies. The third, you asked me third time, and I got to tell you the truth. I mean, that's just how comical, and those are the people running our country. Anyway, I'm sorry, a little pet peeve there, but this is a real deal. So now what happens is we can go to a bank, if you're my client, or you happen to work with these financial consultants that I found, you can actually go to a bank, and we have wrapped together all these things, which basically leaves only the viability of your marketing plan as the only risk. In other words, if you're making widgets, I can take care of everything for you. There's no risk except that you can't sell your widgets. So if you got something unsellable, that's the only risk left. I have to tell you that when we approach a bank, and I talked to a couple of my banking buddies and a couple of my clients, I said, if you did that, that would make our job so much easier. Because usually, think about it. You go to the bank, you apply for the loan, they say yes or no based on your credit and your business plan. And then they give you requirements. Well, let me tell you, number one, those requirements are nothing like what I'm talking about. It's grossly lacking. And much of what I'm talking about is non-insurance transfers and risk management items and contractual transfers. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to give it all away here, but I'm just telling you that the bank, what they're asking for at the end is what they think is securing the project. Can you imagine walking into the bank with a good business plan, good credit history, a good idea, and having secured absolutely everything on that project or your business dream, except for can you sell your thing? So all that's left really for the bank to consider is this a sellable product? Can you actually pull off your business plan? Thanks a lot. Give me a call. But do understand this. I don't expect a lot of phone calls because we can talk a little bit about it, but this is for my clients and for this group of financial consultants. I put this together, and I want to thank Chris Franklin and John for their help and just keeping me on task. You guys know who you are. Wow, this is something special. Thank you so much. And actually, show this video to your lender and see if they're not interested in what I just have to say. So if you're already going and applying for a loan, say, I'd like you to look at this and just ask them, would this matter what this guy's talking about? Not even knowing what I'm talking about. Just think of the concept, leaving the only risk left that your business plan doesn't work. But absolutely having money to pay loans or whatever else is needed for everything else. It's kind of an interesting concept. I hope to hear from you, and good luck.